Boom, boom, boom. This is Jared and I'm back. Hey guys. Hey man, I'm so excited to do this show tonight. Thank you for joining me for this ride. All right, man, we've got a great show tonight. Great story. This kidney warrior, all right, has been a survivor since day one. All right, ever since he was coming out of the womb, he's been surviving. All right, so man, I'm happy to get this story out. But please, in order to get this story out, you heard it, you know it, don't be stingy. All right, please. All right, let's get this out. Let's get this going. Share, okay? Smash it. All right. I want you to hit it like a hammer, and let's get this out there to as many people as possible. All right, where's that hammer? Let's get this. Let's put that hammer down. Boom! All right, smash that share button. All right, smash it. All right, make some noise. Let's get this party started and make some noise. All right, man. I'm super excited to do this again. I'm your host, Jared A. Brown. The Warriors Quest Show. We are going to spotlight a chronic disease warrior looking for a living donor, and tonight we have a very special guest, Shane Blanchard. All right. And somebody, all right, I'm going to bring on as a co-host briefly. Hey, Sean Garris, thank you for watching. Thank you for coming on and commenting. Please, guys, drop a comment. All right. Keep the engagement going. All right. Put a ring on it. Let's get engaged. All right. I'm going to bring on a co-host. All right. Someone that I admire, all right, and he's been battling with some cold temperatures in Kerrville, Texas recently. All right, man, in Texas it's been cold. I'm going to bring on Jonathan Traylor as my co-host, so please give him a very warm Warriors Quest Show welcome. All right, co-host time. Co-host. I'm my own enemy. Boom, boom, boom. What is going on, my man?
What's going on, Jared? I'm trying to stay warm, my brother.
I know it, man. I know it. Man, so what is the dealio in Texas right now? What is going on? I mean, the temperature dropped. We got, what is it, global warming or is it global cooling? I don't know what's going on.
I don't know, Jared. I think the Eskimos have came here to stay. It's
wow.
Pretty crazy.
Yeah, it's pretty crazy.
Yeah. First time in like 32 years that this area has had snow. So
right. Yeah.
Yeah. And it's on top of that, it's ice too. So it's a cumulative of snow and ice.
Yeah.
So it looks something out of like a picture you would see maybe in like northern New York or Canada, something like that. So
that is nuts. Crazy. That is nuts. That is crazy.
It's insane.
Hey, I want to say hello to Bernadette. Thanks for watching, and I hope you're doing
Bernadette?
Well. What's up, Bernadette? And then Sean Garris again. He's saying, "Hey, Jonathan."
Hey, Sean. What's up?
All right, so man, we've got Steve Belcher in the house. Very special shout out to Steve Belcher. You know, I'm thinking of you, and I hope things are going well for you, buddy. And then we got Kyle Hawkridge, man. What is going on, Kyle?
Kyle Hawkridge.
What's going on, buddy? Yeah, and then of course I've got my doppelganger. Jeffrey A. Brown, all the way from Abu Dhabi in the UAE. Thank you for waking up early to watch this show, brother.
Brown. What's going on?
So, man, I'm so excited to get this going, man. I'm so happy. Thank you. Let's get this information out there. Smash that share button. Let's get this going. But Jonathan, my twin brother, he gave me some information, all right, and I was trying to do my homework to get to know the guest a little bit that we're bringing on. But one of the things I found very interesting, all right, is that he said that you met Shane, all right, from from TikTok. All right. So tell me the story about how you met this guest.
Well, I mean, I have an account on TikTok that I do advocating on as well. I'm just
Uh-huh.
utilizing the app just for that purpose. But I seen Shane on there doing like some pretty cracky, joking like TikToks that are pretty funny, pretty humorous.
Uh-huh.
And Shane actually messaged me and said, "Hey, I seen you on TikTok. Why don't we hook up and
Yeah.
talk?" And he kind of explained a little bit about his situation, and I was like, "Oh yeah, sure, man. No problem." And so we kind of hooked up from there, and that's kind of how we made the connection.
Nice, nice.
Yeah.
So so that's really unique. I've never heard of that before. Where I've heard of it happening on Twitter. I've heard of it obviously happening on Instagram and Facebook, but I guess this is the first time I've heard of like a connection like that where you've been able to meet somebody from TikTok. That's interesting, man. That's awesome.
Yeah, yeah. Oh, for sure. I mean, TikTok is actually has a pretty good handful of warriors on there and different ones. So they'll come on and do dialysis videos and things like
Yeah.
that. And so pretty interesting. Lots of warriors out there. So
All right. All right. Cool. So
yeah,
it's still I guess it's really it's interesting to see how creative that we've gotten, that we can now branch out in so many different ways to meet people online with social media,
oh yeah,
and and it is very unique. And with marketing, it's now called vertical marketing, because
yeah,
it's not, it's a different sort of dimension.
yep,
Instagram's the same way, and
yep,
so it's interesting how there's so many different ways now, and it's kind of gaining some steam.
oh yeah,
Yeah. So I'm excited to see what can happen in the near future in regards to more people, getting the word out, about
sure,
their search for a living donor with
sure.
TikTok, man. Keep me updated and
Uh,
see what other people you meet, man.
Sure. So social media is a great tool as long as you're using it, for positive. It has some negative things about it and aspects about it
Right,
that people can dabble in and fall into. But you can find trouble everywhere,
right,
whether it's Facebook, Instagram, Twitter, TikTok, YouTube, whatever. But it's a great tool to utilize, and if you're a warrior in need, I would definitely utilize social media as a platform for advocating.
right. Yeah, I mean, I think that we need to try to utilize every sort of opportunity that, every sort of angle and everything. Even, email, if you're sending an email or a text message, I mean, just
Sure.
different things, it's good to be creative like that for sure.
Yeah.
And so my twin brother's watching right here. He says, Shane Blanchard, we are in whose corner? Your corner, buddy. Over 50 surgeries and counting. You are a kidney warrior, man. And we're going to
Wow.
get to that. Yeah, it's awesome. But talking about the TikTok, I want to show something very quickly. Offline, I showed it, and I want to bring it up again. So Shane, what I like about Shane so far, to give a brief introduction before we bring him on, is that I really like his sense of humor.
Oh yeah.
I do. I think it's awesome that he's got a good sense of humor. What up, Patricia? Thanks for watching.
Hey, Patricia.
Yeah, thanks for watching and commenting and bringing engagement to this cause. Thanks, Patricia. But so he's got a great sense of humor. I dig that. My twin brother and I, we both have a good sense of humor, and I think that really helps somebody who's going through a struggle like that. And I want to show a TikTok video that he's shared recently, and I want to bring that up. And hopefully he doesn't get mad at me, but he's got a good sense of humor, so hopefully he doesn't. But all right, cool. He's giving me the thumbs up. All right, so I'm gonna show this so that our viewers can see one of his TikTok videos and get kind of a glimpse, a taste of what I'm talking about. It's really cool. All right, here we
Sure.
go. I like his facial expressions. That adds to the, the humor in the TikTok videos, and again, I just think it's really important to have something that's going to make you smile, and humor is a great way to smile. It's a great way to make others smile. And one of the things I saw also is in some of his TikTok videos is that he brings his mom on some of these TikTok videos, and they do them together sometimes. So we're gonna talk to him about that. I love it. I'm gonna bring him on now. So we'll do a very special intro and bring him on, and hear a little bit more about what kind of prompted him to do these and talk about it. But I love it. I do. I love that he's got that going on and that he does that. I think it's important. Yeah. All right, here we go, everybody. When we bring him on, all right, give him a very special intro. Give him comments. I want to, if I can see some comments, please, that adds to the engagement. So please continue to say, what up, Jonathan Traylor? Give him a shout out. And when we bring on Shane Blanchard, please, ask him questions in the comment section. Say hello, give him some support, encouragement, and let's get this party started. Here we go. A very special VIP. Welcome. Here we go. Hey, Shane, how's it going, buddy?
Good.
Nice, man. So thank you for coming on the Warriors Quest show, Shane.
Yeah, I got hooked up today. Had a little dialysis.
Yeah. So that TikTok video you shared earlier today, I saved it, and that's the one I showed. So was that from a session that you had earlier today then?
Yeah, that was about 30 this morning. I was just hanging out, and I was bored and got a little and there was a person beside me that was kind of having a bad day, and I said, don't worry, be happy. And then I started playing that song for him and started singing, and then she started laughing, and then she kind of got turned around a little bit, and I'm like, well, heck, I'm going to do a TikTok of it. So,
nice. So. Well, we've got some people chiming in. Thanks for watching, Shell Allen, and Suresh is watching. Suresh is a great supporter and follower. Thanks for watching, Suresh, and your comments. So, man, I want to start from the very beginning, because Shane, again, when my twin brother gave me some information and I was reading and trying to do my homework a little bit, I was floored. I was seriously surprised, and I don't know, Shane, I probably should have watched your broadcast with Jonathan. I think I was working that day. Maybe I wouldn't have been as.
Oh no! How dare you miss that?
But for those that haven't watched your interview with Jonathan Traylor on his show, let's have you introduce yourself. So you're from. Let me see if I can say this right. Okay, is it Oskaloosa? Oh my gosh. Oskaloosa, Iowa?
Yep, Oskaloosa. If you want to say it the easy way, just say Oski.
Oski, okay.
Nice,
okay. So introduce yourself. I'll put you solo, but we'll still be able to hear you and you can talk to us. But introduce yourself and kind of give us a background, your hero's origin story. Every hero's got an origin story, brother, and I know that you've got one. All right? Bruce Wayne has got nothing on you, brother. So tell us your origin story, all right?
He definitely got more money.
All right.
Yeah, but no, I'm Shane Blanchard. I'm 46 years old. I'm from Oskaloosa, Iowa. I was born with kind of a rare disorder called Eagle-Barrett Syndrome, which basically just means I was born without abdominal. So when I was born, had a lot of things messed up internally with my urinary tract, and so from a very young age, I had reconstruction on my urinary tract, and they thought they had everything fixed all right, but Yeah, from an infant, I had several surgeries. I'm not going to get into all of it, but I mean, it was a ton. I was in and out of the hospital a lot. In fact, my last surgery that I had was when I was 12 years old. I didn't think I'd have anything after that. I thought I was all fixed up. But when I was 21 years old, I got diagnosed with end-stage renal disease, and that's just a byproduct of Eagle-Barrett Syndrome. And so I needed a kidney transplant when I was 21. And luckily, my brother at that time, Todd, was 23, so he was 2 years older than I was, and he donated.
Okay.
And that kidney lasted me until I was 45 years old. So it lasted a good amount of time. And then in November of 2019, I had to have another transplant. And of course, I went about 8 months where I was on peritoneal dialysis. And then I went in for another transplant in November to have a transplant. And my best friend, Brad, donated to me.
Okay.
That did not, Italy. There was something that went wrong with the connection. And so they ended up going in and taking the kidney out, trying to do some work to the kidney, put it back in, and then let me ride on that. And then about 8 hours later, it was going bad, so they took the kidney out again, and this time they cleaned it out, did all kinds of crazy stuff, put the kidney back in my body again, and it didn't work. And so the third time they had to take it out permanently. And it's a real long story. I ended up where the vein got messed up. I ended up with a bacterium. That's just a horror story
wow.
Really I don't get into the negatives, but
yeah.
You know, I was in the hospital for 6 months. I ended up in a nursing home. It was just a bad all around deal. I mean, I'm doing great now, and I work out 30 minutes a day. I do what I got to do to get myself prepared for another transplant. And so I do my dialysis 3 times a week. I work 3 days a week. I get Sundays off for church. Yay. So that's how life is right now. But yeah, I mean, it's something I've always battled with. I guess people look at me and say, gosh, you're so tough. You're so mentally tough. You go through all this stuff. It's like, man, I don't know any different. I'm just, I'm a happy guy, and that's how I've always been. And so when you brought up about, TikTok, why I do it, well, that's why, is because I know there's people out there going through worse things than me and worse struggles than me, and I want to lift them up and make them happy and say, listen, you can get through it. Number one, you need Christ. Number 2, you need your faith, and number 3, you need a positive mental attitude, and then you can overcome anything.
Nice, I love that. Yeah, that's a good combination when you have all those things together. Amen to that, brother. Honestly, I know that for myself that, I can't get through my demons, and I can't get through my dark times in my life without faith. And so, man, I commend you, man. I think that, with the humor, if you can make other people smile, like you were talking about earlier today with the kidney disease patient that was sitting next to you, and you made that person smile, that's gold. That is, that.
Yep. Yeah, it is. And that's what I love to do. And just, a month ago, they just made me the patient something where I'm like the representative for the patients for the whole clinic. So, patients that have questions, anything, they can come around them. I'm not there to give medical advice. I'm just there to give motivation and to help bring them up, and I enjoy that part of it. So it's kind of, there's a negative, but then there's a positive too. So.
So let's talk a little bit about the Eagle-Barrett's. Is it Eagle-Barrett Syndrome? Is that what it's called? Is that?
It could be Eagle-Barrett Syndrome, or prune belly syndrome is another name for it, because you look like a prune.
Really?
Yeah.
Wow. So
here's how to explain it. You look at a baby eagle. You look at a baby eagle. You'll see how its head is real small and how its stomach's really big and bulgy. That's that's
okay. That's how the name has come then. Okay. All right. That makes more sense.
Right.
So, I mean, it sounds like from what I read that from early on when the doctor, when you were delivered in the hospital, okay, it sounds as though that's not a very common thing. Can you tell me a little bit more about, you know, how common this is? And
Yeah. Well, growing up, it's not common at all. In fact, growing up my whole life, I only knew of one other person in the United States with it. You know, now since going on Facebook, there's actually a prune belly syndrome network on there, and there's maybe 1,000 people on there, so it's pretty rare. But it's also young kids on there going through things, because you're not expected to live past your teen years with prune belly syndrome. In fact, most children die within the first 1 to 2 years of being born with Eagle-Barrett Syndrome.
Wow.
So for me being 46 years old, it's quite a testament.
Yeah, it is.
But you know, like I said, it was a lot of surgeries and a lot of procedures. We didn't know about it. I mean, they didn't think I was going to live, you know, when I was first born, and you know, I ended up making it. And they did some surgeries and got me fixed enough, and you know, put me together. So they tubed me together.
You make it sound like you know, you make it sound like it's something that isn't you know, that difficult to understand, but to me it's overwhelmingly surprising that you've overcome so much. It's just incredible.
Yeah, I mean, my favorite sport right here was wrestling. I mean, I wrestled in grade school, high school, and you know, I wasn't a great wrestler, but I did good enough. But I wrestled in varsity and did really well, and I played some football as well. I didn't play my senior year, but I played all the way until my 11th grade in football. And people are like, "Well, what happened if you got hit in the gut?" That's like, well, that's why I wore rib pads around my stomach. Now, was the doctor in favor of me playing football and sports? No, they weren't. But my parents let me do what I wanted to do. So, you know, I still played and lived a normal life. The only thing that ever kept me from doing was becoming a Marine, which really sucked for me, because that was one thing I wanted to do, was serve in the Marine Corps, but I didn't get to do that.
You didn't get to do that.
Everything else I've been able to do.
Okay. Right. So that's what I read when I was getting, you know, when I was reading the information. It sounds like the doctors didn't think that you could ever do like sports or activities like that. Is that because it may put more stress?
No, they didn't even think I could walk.
Oh, wow.
Well, when you don't have abdominal muscle, like, how do you stand up? How do you do sit-ups? How do you, you know, like, how do you roll around? You know, because you use your stomach muscles for a lot of things. It even helps to contract the bladder and helps you to pee. You know, that's what stomach muscles do. They help with those things. And I do have a little bit of abdominal muscle, just barely a little bit, that kind of helps with those things, I guess. I don't know how I do it. I just do. I mean, I don't know how I walk. I just do. You know, I guess when I was 2 years old, I started pulling myself up on furniture. I was pretty bow-legged and everything at the time, and looked real awkward, but I still did it. I walk normal now. So,
wow, Jonathan, that is just incredible. I mean,
I know it.
It's just
yeah. When I had him on Hope with Jonathan, he had an amazing story, and I'm really glad he got the opportunity to interview with you, Jared.
Yeah,
amazing story.
It is. So please, you know, y'all don't be stingy and share this information, because this is just an incredible story of overcoming something that is not that common. You know, whether you want to call it, you know, the prune belly syndrome or Eagle-Barrett syndrome. I've never heard of it before, and he's saying it's not that common, but he's met more people because of Facebook. But it's still, you know, it's not something that I've heard about in regards to like FSGS or lupus or other reasons like high blood pressure or diabetes, in regards to why the kidneys aren't functioning. So
yeah, it's pretty rare. You know, in fact, when I ever go to a urologist, it cracks me up, because I go to University of Iowa Hospital and Clinics. It's a university, it's college students. But guess what happens to good old Shane every time I go to see a urologist? Students are coming in because they got a PBS guy here. So, you know, they all want to come in and fill around on my stomach. And oh my God, and this is the liver, and this is, and you know, and I'm just sitting there laughing with them, you know, and stuff. And I'm like, well, here, if you're pushing real hard, you can push through my stomach and fill my spinal cord, you know, because there's nothing stopping you. So,
wow.
Yeah, the doctors sure do enjoy that.
Hey, Shane, I have a question for you. You talked about being involved in sports. Did you play football? I mean, I know you was in wrestling, but did you play football, baseball, basketball too?
Yeah, no, not basketball. If you're a wrestler, you definitely stay away from basketball. You beat those guys up. But no, I played football. I did play football. Wrestling was my favorite sport. I started wrestling when I was in like I think I was fourth grade because my brother started wrestling in seventh grade and got me in it. And I wrestled all the way through fourth grade, which was about 10 years old until I was about 19 or 20 because I wrestled some freestyle after high school.
Right. Okay.
But yeah, and then I played tennis. I played baseball. I played all sports. Yeah.
Okay. Wow. So you were
in fact,
pretty athletic.
yeah, like, and a good story here is that the first time I had kidney failure, I told you I was 21 years old.
Mm-hmm.
Well, my creatinine was above a 13. It's very, very high. Right now, my creatinine's only a 9. So going back to 21, they said that I was in kidney failure since I was probably 16, 17 years of age. I just never knew I was in kidney failure because I was in such good shape. I was always running and always working out that it didn't catch up to me until I got into my 20s. So, yeah.
Wow. That's inspiring right there. That's amazing. I mean, considering that you were already having problems with your kidneys, but you were still able to be athletic and involved in so much.
Wow.
Yeah. I wish I was still athletic, but shoot, not anymore. I can walk about 30 minutes, jog a little bit, but after that, I'm ready for bed.
All right. All right.
Yeah.
I love sports. I'm a big sports fan. NFL, NBA, NHL. I'm not as big of a baseball fan, but in fact, I'm a bigger fan of soccer or America's football than I am baseball. It's just a little too slow paced for me. I'll watch baseball maybe like in October, when the playoffs start. But I love sports, and I think it's a great way to come together. Sometimes you'll get different walks of life and they're connected because of the sport. It's just a great connection that we can have. But so tell me a little bit about in the TikTok videos, in some of them you brought your mom in and she was doing the TikTok videos for you. And that's kind of cool. She may have a real good sense of humor then as well. Talk to me a little bit about your great relationship that you have with her and how much of a support she is to you.
Well, my mom is. Here's the cool thing about my mom. Even in sports, she never missed a game, never missed a wrestling meet, never missed a tennis match, never missed a baseball game, never missed anything. She was the president of what was called Family is in Action, which is back then, was doing for kids and doing different things to get teams together. So my mom's been always involved in my life and always involved in her time, sewing time to help other people.
Mm-hmm.
And so, so now I'm that way too. I do a lot of that stuff. But, we've been real close for a long time. Going through all this stuff, she's always been right by my side with everything and never missed a beat. She's 74 years old right now, but she's got the heart of an 18-year-old. Nice. And, in fact, her screen name is always Dizzy Blonde, just because she's busy. That's just how my mom is. But, you'd never know that she was 74 if you talked to her on the phone. You'd think she was, a 20-year-old chick. She's just, she's cool people. And so we'll get on TikTok and we'll do some dancing videos, or we'll do, little comedy skit videos and stuff like that. And she has a good time with it. I have a good time with it. People laugh at it. And so, as long as it can bring a smile to people's face and brighten their day, then I'm all for it. So.
I love his spirit, Jared. I love the fact that he can laugh and cut up and still have a good time, even though everything he's faced. It's just an amazing positive spirit.
Absolutely.
Yeah, people get shocked with that at work too, because I had one of them shunt things in my chest for dialysis, and I went in, I got it pulled out, and then I came right back to work afterwards. And they're like, "What are you doing here?" And I'm like, "Oh, you got to work," and so, and then I like to mess around with people because my arm's like all swelled up, from the dialysis and stuff, and I'm always showing off my Popeye arm, look how strong I am, and stuff like that. And so, yeah, but no, I have fun with it. I mean, it's probably wrong, but
so I want to get
to it, so you might as well just make the
exactly right. Because why be miserable? There are bad things that happen to us, but it's how we react to them. And That's really important. So I want to get to this question, but the TikTok video that I watched that I thought that was really cool was, I can't remember the song exactly, the music, but it was something like that country song, but it was a switch on it where I don't want to wear that mask no more or something, and you had
yeah.
and you were
I've seen that one. I've seen that one. That one was fun.
Yeah, too bad you didn't have that one pulled up. Yeah, I don't want to wear the mask anymore. That's talking about the COVID mask. Yeah. I think everybody. Right. The reason I did that is like everybody's getting tired of wearing these masks. Most people chin diapers are saying now. And, it's like what good does chin diaper do? But I just it's tiring. It's wearing the mask all the time. I remember when I first came out of the hospital in March of just last year, and I had to wear a mask. Coming out, nobody else is wearing a mask. I'm wearing the mask because, you got to watch things. And I went into my work to say hi to everyone, and I had to go in wearing a mask. And I felt awkward, wearing the mask. Now it's just weird. Here we are a year later, and everybody's wearing these masks, and it's like not a big deal,
Right.
So
it's become normal. Yeah. So Suresh has a good question. He says, it's really amazing being an athlete. Did your creatinine increase? Because I heard somewhere a sports person, the creatinine level increases. Is this true?
I'm not, that could be the reason why it was up to 13. I never have asked that question. But what they had told me is because of my the way I ate back then is a lot different than now. I mean, I ate healthy food back then. I really watched my intake, and I ran a lot. I worked out a lot. So, I was probably sweating off urine more than what was coming out of the bladder. I don't know.
All right.
I don't know the reasons. That's just what they told me back then. But I could see some truth with that your creatinine would be higher as an athlete. That would make sense.
And then we got some love going on right here.
Hey, there's my mama. She's on now watching.
Yeah, thanks for watching, Kay. Awesome. Kyle Hawkridge.
Nothing wrong with being a mama's boy, Shane.
Not at all. Not at all. I wish proud seriously. Yeah, I wish I still could be. My mother passed away, and so I love my mom. I love my dad, and I don't have them anymore in my life. They passed on. And so, man, I'm super jealous for anybody who has their parents still. And again, God bless Steve Belcher during this time, because he's lost his dad. And please, thoughts and prayers towards Steve Belcher right now for having lost his dad. Kyle Hawkridge says, did you ever help get your hand out of the glass? I'm not sure what he's
this is a video I did where I got my hand stuck in a vase.
Oh, okay.
I was at the kitchen sink, and I had the water going, and I was trying to get my mom to get me to help my out of the glass. The vase. I pulled my hand out of the vase and had her put soap on my hand. Then I put my hand back into the vase, and she's still trying to get it out. So that's something you'll have to watch.
All right,
yes, I did get my hand out of the vase. In fact, it took her seeing the video 3 times before she realized that I really was not stuck. So yeah, she was sitting there, and all of a sudden she goes, "Oh my God, Shane, your hand really wasn't stuck." And I just busted out laughing because she never caught on.
That's funny.
This is why I love Shane, man. He's always cracking up and always got such a fun spirit about him. So some of the other kidney warriors out there that are struggling can learn a lot from Shane.
Yeah, so, if you got questions or anything, I'll message me.
Please, please connect with Shane. I think the more united we are and the tighter knit we are, so to speak, as a kidney disease community, the better. And so please connect with Shane. Let's all get together and let's make sure we're encouraging each other, giving each other support. So brother Shane, Steve Belcher's asking, is this a coping mechanism for you? Using your humor. Is this because some people use that as therapy, and I think that's a great way to kind of
100%. Yeah, of course it is. I know it is. I have times when I'm upset and I'm sad, and but that time is when usually I'm by myself. But how do I deal with the stress, deal with my anxiety, and how do I deal with depression? I grab a Bible and I start reading and I start praying and I start listening to praise and worship music that's uplifting, and God brings me out of it.
Awesome.
So that's how I get out of it. But yeah, I mean, definitely, is it a coping mechanism? Yeah, I'm sure that it is. But it makes me feel better. I feel better when I can help other people feel better. As crazy as that may sound, that's just
It
how I'm
doesn't.
wired. So,
No, it's not crazy. In fact, biblically speaking, we can read scriptures where, we do read that if you're helping somebody else, I'm trying to remember the exact scripture. Oh my gosh, it's anyway. So in the least, if you help somebody else, something like that, then you're helping me, or you're showing love unto me. I'm screwing up the scripture, but you know what I mean, is that if you're helping other people, more or less, you're also helping Jesus. You're serving Jesus.
You're paraphrasing, Jared. You're paraphrasing.
Yes, exactly. I'm paraphrasing because I don't remember the scripture.
I think it's hope. I think that's under hope for Jonathan, chapter 4, verse 3:16, something like that.
Something like that, yeah.
But no, I know what you're talking about.
Yes. So, it's awesome because, it is. If we serve other people, if we're helping other people, we can also receive gratification. And I don't say that should be the only reason, because then it's not really sincere. But I think we feel better when we're helping other people. I know I do, and who was that? Was that Kay?
Yeah, she's back behind me.
Hi, Kay. Hi. Awesome. Good to see you. I can see where you get his good looks.
Oh yeah, definitely. I get my good looks from my mama.
So
she was watching in the other room. She just ran in.
All right, cool. I love that. So we do get uplifted when we help others. I think it's therapy for me, and I say this all the time, that I love giving people hope. And it helps me, and it makes me feel good if I'm helping other people. And that's why, one of the reasons why I have all this passion, because it's so gratifying when I hear that somebody else like D'Angelo Crawford, whom I've interviewed, or Jonathan Traylor, or Angie Essery from Canada, all right, in December got a kidney. Anybody who's been on my show that's gotten a kidney, man.
And I love to help other people.
Exactly. It's great when I hear that someone who's been on my show has had a kidney, and it's gratifying. It really is. So, man, it's awesome that you do that, and that you feel like, that if somebody's down, that you're going to lift them up and get their spirits up. I think that's great.
Yeah. I would say that
and
you're,
I've spent, my whole life.
Go ahead.
Oh, go ahead, Shane.
Oh, I was just going to go ahead, Jonathan.
I was just going to say, I would foresay that your mother is a great support for you, and, support is very strong, and you definitely need it when you're going through things like, kidney failure, kidney dialysis, even during kidney transplant, you need great support.
Absolutely.
Your mom is probably your greatest support. Am I wrong or right?
Yeah, my mom, my dad, great support. Another guy that's been a huge support, Oskaloosa and Craig Ford. Those are actually the owners of the car dealerships. There's 3 car dealerships we have.
Say that
those
again.
are actually the owner of those car dealerships. Ross Kenobi and the owners of the dealership, they've been a really good support to me. I would say Ross has been a good support to me, and he's a part owner because I can call that guy and tell him anything that's going on, and he's got some kind of words of encouragement for me or something like that. And granted, he's my boss, he's my leader, but he's been a heck of a person to work for. When I was in the hospital those 5 to 6 months dealing with that kidney thing, they paid 100% of my insurance premiums the whole time. And then when I went back part-time, they brought me in like I had never even lost where I was. But I mean, for something like that to happen for someone's job and someone's workplace is just amazing as well. But
that is amazing.
Yeah, my parents are great support. My brothers are great support. It takes a whole community. I mean, even with you guys, with Jonathan and just reading other people's stories and hearing about what other people's going through. I mean, it's things like that keep us, gives us hope and gives us hope. When we see someone like me that's got antibodies at 99% out of 100, and it's so rare to get a kidney transplant, and then I hear this person got one, and I'm sitting here like, oh my God, there is hope for me and hope for me to get one, because I've spent my whole life give, serve. I hate to say it, but it's kind of like my turn to receive now, and I just pray to God that it's going to happen for me like it's happened for all these other people.
Right.
selfish, but
Yeah.
No, it's not.
I got to
No,
be
I
right
don't.
now.
No, not at all.
No,
So,
go ahead, Jared.
no, so I wanted to just briefly talk about the PRA score, the panel reactive antibody. So, it is for some people that aren't totally familiar with what that means. Can you expound on that?
So what it is, it's the antibodies that your body fights off different diseases or different flus, different bacteria. Mine's at 99 out of 100, which is great. But it's bad because if you get a kidney from a cadaver, your body's just going to kick it right out and it's not going to accept it. Now, before my PRA was a 27, but when I went through all those surgeries, I ended up having 7 blood transfusions, and because of all those blood transfusions, that's why my antibodies went up, because I lost so much blood over the course of that time, because I ended up with times out of the JP drain that I had. Anyways, that's why it's because of blood transfusions, and so that's what fights off diseases and different things like that. So, they typically want you to be really low on that, 9 out of 100. So I got to find somebody that matches up perfectly with me. If they don't match up perfectly, they can do things on an exchange program.
Exactly.
Which would be awesome.
Right.
But yeah, I got to find that person out there that just is willing to do something like that for me. And my brother's done it. My parents are too old. My other brother has diabetes. So yeah, here I am, guys.
Well, that's why we're doing this, to get the information out there, talk about it, and hopefully have other people, also get to know how inspiring your story is, because inspiration, all right, is a very powerful tool. Jonathan, talk to me about, how your story and how inspiration helped you in your cause, because inspiration is powerful, isn't it?
Oh, inspiration is very powerful, and people like you and Steve Belcher and your brother, Jeff, many different other people that came in my life to help inspire me while I was going through my time. Kent Bressler with KidneySolutions.org. Man, just so many people that God just like hand fed and put into my life. He just hand picked them, and they began to bring inspiration to me, whether it was by bringing me on these type of shows. I believe these type of shows bring inspiration and hope. And to get an opportunity to share your story on a large platform such as Warriors Quest and different shows, and I believe that in itself brings hope and inspiration. And but just also your support, like my mom, man, such an inspiring person in my life. The things that she overcame, and she was in my corner, always praying for me and believing for me. Awesome. My immediate family, my wife and my kids, man. Every day, man, was hope and inspiration. They just, Dad, you got to keep going. Dad, you just got to keep going. Don't get me wrong. I did have some bad days. I had some tough days, but it was during those tough days that my character was built, and I was able to overcome, adversity and get a kidney transplant, and just by the grace of God, but that's one of the reasons why when you said, hey, Jonathan, would you like to co-host? I wanted to come on and share, inspiration and hope for Shane Blanchard, considering, everything that he's been through. And, he's a true definition of a warrior. So I wanted to come on and be at his side and support him.
Yeah, I mean, it's just
and like
incredible.
You said from your dad, that's where I get it, man. That's where I get a lot of my mental toughness and my attitude is my dad. He was with me a lot of the time because my mom had knee surgery. This last time I was in the hospital, he was there every single day running through snowstorms to get there and running through the bad news. And his attitude was like, there's nothing you can do about it. You just got to take it head on and conquer it. And that's kind of how his attitude has been. And he's always been like that with me. And that's kind of the way that I am now. You can't do anything about it. You just got to deal with it and correct it. And so,
okay.
You're saying about your dad, that's what I get a lot of my attitude.
It goes a long way. It does. So, so Steve Belcher is asking, have you ever tried the plasmapheresis?
plasmaspherocytosis. I think that's
Thank
a new
you.
treatment that they're trying over in Chicago, which is where they come in and they do a drug therapy that helps to lower down your PRA naturally.
Right,
I
right.
did send an email. I did send an email to Dr. Axelrod. He's the head of surgery at University of Iowa in the transplant. I did send him that information, and from what I heard last, he is doing some research on it to see if that's something that they could look at for me.
Right.
So
I have heard of
it's
other
something that they're
people.
looking into, but I don't have an answer.
Okay. Yeah, and keep us updated on that because I've heard of other people that have had this done, and they've had some, marginal success. And it's great to look at all your options. Of course, you never quite know, and if it does work for you, then awesome. Let's hope. But I pray that something happens because of what we're doing tonight, and that's my biggest prayer. Because man, faith, hope, and prayer together, that's a powerful combination, and especially when we act on the inspiration, Jonathan. Again, inspiration is powerful, but it's only what we do when we feel inspired that matters. I can feel inspired, and I can feel strongly about how incredibly surprised that you're still overcoming. Okay, and I can feel inspired that you've, in my opinion, have done so much for you in your life despite what you've encountered. Okay, but if I don't do anything with that inspiration, then sometimes I feel as though that's a shame if we don't do anything about that inspiration. So that's my prayer, okay, and it's my ask is that if you feel just as inspired tonight, people, okay, come together as a kidney disease community and let's get this story out there so that people understand how incredible his story is. Because, with his PRA score, the penile reactive antibody of 99, all right, we need to help him, and miracles can happen. A 1% chance, okay, God has done that so many different times. So, 1%, no big deal. God has this, okay, and we need to believe it. And then Jeff has asked a question. Let's get to his question. It was a pretty good one. How do you find the energy to do in-center hemodialysis and manage 3 car dealerships?
Wow.
Yeah. I mean, I love what I do. I mean, if you love what you do, it's not work. And the other thing is that, as a float manager there, we've got such great leadership in place with our managers at our Chevy store, at our Ford store, and then we have another Chevy and Chrysler store in a different town. We've got good managers in place. So really all I got to do is I go in and I just fill in. If we got a manager gone, I jump in and I'm a sales manager for a day, or I'll be a finance manager for a day. I'll be a used car manager for a day. So I'll just jump in and do what I need to do. I love what I do. And so it doesn't feel like work to me. I mean, everybody that I work with is wonderful. So I enjoy being around the people at all 3 stores. The management there, I respect and I get along great with them. So it's not work to me. I mean, it's something that I enjoy doing, and it's something that motivates me. It's something I look forward to. So,
Very cool.
So it's not really a question of, I don't know how I get the energy for it. It's just what I enjoy doing. I mean, I could sit around on my chair all day and watch TV, but what happens when you do that? You just get worse and worse, and you just shrivel up and die. I'm not that person. I'm gonna, keep myself active and keep myself going and do the things I enjoy.
All right.
So and push through, and that's just how I am.
So do you think that because that you go to work, that your interaction and your social activity with your coworkers has helped you keep your spirits up and has helped you with your journey or your struggle that you're going through?
Well, 100%. I know, because if I wasn't there, I'd be very upset because I would be alone. I would just, be at home, I'd see my parents and my dog, but I wouldn't be around other people, and that would just, I would go crazy. I like to be at work, and I like the challenge of, putting a deal together and someone wanting to buy a car and trying to meet those price points, and and somebody that might have troubled credit, trying to find a way to get them a car loan and get them financed. Those are things that I enjoy doing. And I would go crazy if I couldn't do that. So no, I enjoy being able to work and be around the people there.
And Shane has a great will to live and a great will to survive. You can tell when he talks. He's
Yes.
inspired. He's inspired by life. So I
Right.
could I could tell he's got that great passion for what he does, and he wants to continue to be around for a long time. So we need somebody
Yeah,
to
I know
really
God's
think
got
about
plans
being
for me.
a donor.
Yeah, definitely. I mean, I'll use my story to help others if I can.
Yeah.
Very cool. Yeah. So Steve is saying that John Hopkins does it. You know, I think we're talking about the plasmapheresis. Man, it's a mouthful. So hopefully, maybe I don't know if your team can reach out to John Hopkins if they don't have more information.
If they can't, I can always find out. If I
Yeah.
don't hear anything from Axelrod in a couple months about going forward, I was going to reach out to the Chicago hospital, or
Uh-huh.
I was going to look in the Mayo Clinic up in Minnesota, see if they have anything. But I'll look into John Hopkins. So if I don't hear anything from this doctor, I'll start going out, because you can list at multiple places. You can go to multiple places. So if
Yeah.
I've got to go somewhere else to have a look at for that type of therapy, that's something I'll do too. But I've had a number of people come forward to donate, so I'd kind of like to see where that goes too. So it's just, but you want to have all your lines in the water too. I understand how that works. You want to have as many lines out there to get as many as you can. So
Especially
it's
with the
hard
high
trying to navigate
PRA.
everything.
Right.
Yeah, it's just hard.
Yep.
So my doppelganger is asking, will having blood AB help overcome PRA as opposed to desensitization and plasmapheresis?
I have no clue. I know being an AB blood type is really good. Last time when I was in kidney failure here last year, they called me 2 times in 5 months that they had matches, and I turned them both down because my best friend was donating. So I
Yeah.
know that I match up easier with somebody, but
Yeah.
but that PRA, that's something that's a little bit different that I've not dealt with before. So I don't know the answer to that one. I would assume that because my PRA is high, that it's still going to be just as difficult. So because you got to match up on that. So
Okay.
AB is a universal blood type, if I'm correct.
yeah, it
That
is.
is
Yep.
Yep.
Oh, I
right.
like that. What Kyle just
Yes.
said.
Yeah. So
That's nice.
that's good. That's good. I like that. Your KC Chiefs may not have gotten their championship, but yours is coming, Shane. I truly believe. Awesome. So much love and respect, Kyle. Thank you, brother. And
Yeah.
so Jeff is also saying that he was kind of saying the same thing here. Is that remember that Shane's blood type is AB, which can accept all blood types. So so it's very you're very fortunate with that. Here we go. When they call the number, let them know who you are calling. Marvin Shane Blanchard. What is that?
Only my mother
Leave,
would
leave it to mom.
put my but
So is your middle name Shane, and you go by your middle name? What's going on?
yeah, I
All
go
right,
by the middle.
all right. And my dad went by his middle name, and so I've met a few people that do that. So he's shaking his head. SMH.
No, they know me by Shane Blanchard up there. They've got it in the system as Shane Blanchard. I made sure of that.
A decent closer to Iowa. Okay. All right. And now she's laughing. She's done her part to embarrass you.
Oh yeah. Oh yeah.
So that's awesome. So we're getting a little bit close to the end of the hour, but Shane, I want to ask. So you've got support, okay, which is really really key. You've got your support. You've got it with your work family, and you've got it with your direct family. And then you have it with your connection with your faith. And you say that when you're struggling, that you also immerse yourself, in your faith. You've got a great combination right there. Because I can't tell you how often I've seen when people are struggling that if they don't have those things right there, support, and some sort of faith, whether it's faith in God or faith in something, faith is so important. So I want to commend you, and I want to say that I admire those things that you have all that. But tell me a little bit about when you mentioned that you listen to gospel inspiring music. Um, Tell me a little bit about that, because I love that. I really like that you do that, because it can be another source of inspiration. It could be a source of encouragement is when you listen to music. Um, Tell me a little bit about what you do listen to, whether it's Toby Mac or Matthew West, or tell me a little bit about the
I do like
music.
Toby Mac, but I do like Toby Mac, but I like Kirk Franklin also.
Kirk Franklin. I love Kirk Franklin. Yeah.
I like some upbeat music. But you know, one of the things that before you can get yourself into the presence of the Lord, you want to do that with hymns and songs. And it says that in the Bible. You know, Spirit of the Lord to be around, and you want the Holy Spirit to be in the room. That's what you do, is you start singing and praises. And so I'll go on to Spotify, or I'll go on to Pandora, and I'll just put in praise and worship music, and then whatever pops up. And so I'll listen to all sorts of different praise and worship music. Kirk Franklin is who I really enjoy.
I love Kirk Franklin. Awesome. What about?
Yeah, but it just gets me into a time mentally where I can just kind of get everything out of my head, everything going on in the world, and just kind of get myself in a spiritual mind. And you know, and I'll pray in the Spirit and just pray out to the Lord, and just kind of have silence, you know, in my mind, so that way I can hear what the Lord is ministering, saying to me, and everything. And so, you know, it's important to do that. Praise and worship music to me is a very powerful thing. You know, it's something that I didn't learn about until a year and a half ago when I was at church, and I asked the guy, because I was struggling. I said, what can I do to get my mind on Christ? And he said, listen to praise and worship music and sing along with it and pray and get your mind on Christ, and that'll get everything out. It's as easy if I'm sitting here talking to you and I ask you both, here, do me a favor, close your eyes for a second. And then I want you guys to imagine a big purple elephant standing in front of you. Can you see it?
Yes.
Okay, that's how you get your mind on Christ. You can just, you close, but that's just the split second thing to get your mind on Christ, right? So you can do that with praise and worship music. Just close your eyes and see that around you and get yourself immersed in that music, and that'll get your mind off of what's going on and get your mind on Christ. And that's how you do it.
Sure.
You do it with your vision internally in your mind.
Sweet. Love it.
I'm definitely a person of faith, and I believe that prayer changes things. So
it does.
100%. I'm here because of prayer.
That's right. Me too. I'm 100% a walking, living testimony of prayer and faith in the mighty, 100%. Almighty God. So
amen. Yeah, amen to that.
Wouldn't be here without it. I would be 6 feet under right now if it wasn't for last year. Hundreds of people through Facebook. The prayer of a mother, even on top of that. I mean, and a father. I mean, both my parents. I mean, I wouldn't be here without those two praying for me, and without a community of people praying for me. It just wouldn't happen.
The Bible says the prayers of the righteous availeth much, and that's a powerful scripture. And my mom, she prayed for me as well, so I know about the power of prayer, and a praying mother. So
hey, it's Jonathan's time. I hear it. He's got that alarm going on. What, you got to take your medicine now, right?
I have a 15-minute window, but it's time for the immune suppressants.
Yes, are you taking Prograf? What do you take anyways? Like Prograf, Myfornate, Sirolimus?
Yeah, Prograf and Cellset.
Okay, I still take Prograf. Actually, they still have me on 1 milligram of that a day.
Oh wow. Really? That's interesting.
Yeah. Wow. Even now when you.
Yeah, because so even a year ago, they had to take that vein that they hooked that kidney in. They had to take that artery out, cadaver artery in, and replace it instead of taking my leg, because I was going to leave my leg. So they ended up. I haven't got into everything that's ever happened to me, but I have to take that Prograf because of an artery that was given to me from a cadaver.
Right. So, right. Okay.
But I was
Wow.
even taking
Wow.
photographs before then for my original
Well,
transplant.
it's
So,
hard to
yeah.
jam pack 50 surgeries in an hour or 45 minutes.
Yeah, I don't get
Wow.
into it because there's no reason to. You know, I mean,
Yeah.
I don't like to talk about it all. Oh
Yeah.
wow, I need my hair did.
Shane's not a kidney warrior. He's a kidney superhero.
That's right. That's right.
Oh,
Well,
funny.
so Jonathan, before we end the show, again, I'm very, very honored to have you on as a co-host. But what would you like to say to Shane? What kind of inspiration, what kind of encouragement, hope would you like to give this heroic kidney warrior?
Shane, just continue what you're doing, man. You have an inspiring spirit. You have a will to live. So just continue what you're doing, being positive, and you know, lean upon your support system. I know you're already doing these things, and just keep that mindset that you have every day. And I really truly believe that God has a select person for you, Shane. It's coming soon. You know, my kidney came at a time I never thought it was, you know, coming. It was such a surprise to me, and I believe that's what's going to happen for you. And just keep the faith, brother. Stay strong, and know that you have many other people in your corner praying and believing for you. So God bless you.
Appreciate it, man. Thank you very much.
Yeah, thanks, Jonathan. Thank you very much for coming on and giving him hope and you know, and giving him encouragement and helping me get his story out there. I appreciate it, brother.
It's my pleasure, Jared. I appreciate you. Anytime.
All right. Thanks, man. Anytime you need my help, I'm there for you as well, brother.
Sure. No doubt.
Okay. God bless you, man. Keep warm in Texas while it's cold.
I will. My head's a little sore from this guy dancing on my head the whole time.
I know, yeah. All right, man. Thank you again.
All right. God bless. Take care.
Bye.
Bye-bye.
All right, so Shane, we're nearing the end here, and I definitely just want to have you, you're kind of give you the time to kind of either give a plea, give us an idea of what you would do when, you know, what do you envision your life to be when you've had that kidney transplant, you know, and give us an idea of, you know, what we can give them as far as people who are watching this, have them envision what you want your life to be and why you want that life, you know, and the people are in it and what's driving you to have that life that you're envisioning.
Sure. I mean, my biggest thing is I want to be other people. You know, I want to continue to live, but I want to live a normal life. You know, right now I've got 3 days a week where I can't do anything, and you know, I want to use that time to be able to help and bless others. I want to be able to get back, work full time. You know, I've got a whole bunch of people that I work with that I'd love to be there for every day to help motivate and inspire, and to help them be the best they can be in that business and to be successful in their life. But even more so, I think after I get a transplant, what I want to do is I want to be a kidney advocate next. So other people out there that, you know, want to get a transplant, or other people that need a heart or need a lung or need a pancreas, I don't care what it is, whatever organ they need, I want to be an advocate for organ donors and to help get the word out there for other people to get their lives saved and for people to come forward and to donate. That's going to be my biggest thing that I'm going to want to do. Not only that, but I'm going to want to be able to preach the gospel as well and go around and minister at different churches to people that are going through different things in their lives, and just to let them know my story. Here's what I've gone through. You can defeat it and you can move on, because Jesus is bigger than anything that's going on in our lives right now. And with Christ, you can conquer all. And I want to be that example to people. I think that's one reason why Christ put me on this earth. I think that's one reason why I have the attitude that I have, is because I can handle it. I can handle the struggle.
Amen to that, brother.
And other people that struggle too. The only reason I can handle it is because of Christ. It's not because of me. It's because I know Jesus has bigger plans for all of us. So what we have to do is we got to tap into that, and we've got to use that for His glory and to get His word out there for everyone. We need to be the salt.
Amen to that. I had shared a song recently. in one of the Facebook Messenger groups that we're in together, and Jonathan had commented on it, on the song, and he had mentioned to me that the song that I'm talking about was kind of a one of the songs that he and his wife had shared when he was going through his struggle, and it's God's Not Done With You Yet by Taryn Wells. It's a beautiful song, you know, and so you know, I just have a lot of respect for you. I think your story is amazing, and you're right. Okay, grace is sufficient. You know, grace will help you, because we do so much more when we accept God's help, because He will give us grace and strengthen us to do things that we ordinarily wouldn't be able to do. And I know that somebody will feel inspired. I'm hoping that they do, because I feel inspired by your story, and I'm excited that you've come on so that I could get to know you better and hear your story. And I hope that anybody who is listening to this, and maybe even on a replay and watches this later, can feel just as inspired as I am, that they may share this, or quite frankly, that they feel inspired to act on inspiration like we talked about and become your living donor. That's my prayer.
Amen. Amen.
So I'm so thankful that we did this. Please, let's stay in contact. I'm thankful that we've gotten to know each other better. Love your humor. Let's laugh together. Let's smile together. And let's make sure that we get this message out there. All right?
Yeah, we'll definitely win together too.
All right, exactly. All right. Well, you know, tell everyone out there, all right, that we're going to get this story out there, and tell them, anybody who doesn't doubt you, let them know that God, all right, is truthful, and we're calling it, all right, with our faith together. Okay, God can conquer, and I'm excited that we can do this together. Shane, thank you.
Amen. Yeah, thank you.
You're welcome. All right, have a blessed evening, brother.
All right, you too.
Okay, thank you again. Bye-bye. All right, guys. So, man, we have had a great guest. All right, Shane Blanchard has such an incredible story. All right, Eagle-Barrett Syndrome, prune belly syndrome, however you want to say it. It's not something I'm extremely familiar with, and so I was interested in regards to having him tell his story. All right, abdominal muscles. All right, he hardly has any. He's had over 50 surgeries. All right, it's incredible. All right, and he's overcome so much. But without our help, okay, it's up to us to come together and be united, because he is, all right, he is a kidney warrior. All right, we're stronger together though as a community. All right, and so I'm asking for your help and to share this and get this information. Let's get this out there to as many people as possible. Shell Allen, she's going to be on the Warriors Quest show very soon. Thank you for watching. Suresh, thank you for watching tonight, Suresh. All right, man, you're a very loyal, great supporter, and I appreciate your comments and everything. You're welcome, Kay. Thank you for being such a great support yourself, because you've got a great son who beams with love and gives it back freely to other people. You're welcome. But please click on that share button. All right, and let's get this out there to as many people as possible. But I would be seriously embarrassed if I didn't also ask before we end this show. And you're welcome. You're very welcome. All right, this is my calling. All right, God has given me a calling, and I'm very excited to be able to continue to do this. I'm an instrument in His hands, and I'm thankful to do that. But I would be very embarrassed if I didn't, all right, talk about, all right, my brother, all right, Steve Belcher. He has lost, all right, his dad who has passed away. And I'm asking everybody who has ever lost anybody, whether it's an uncle, a parent, anybody whom you've lost, a beloved, all right, please pray for Steve Belcher that he may, all right, that he may be comforted and that he may be consoled. Because I know the Comforter, all right, we can ask in prayer that the Comforter may console him and that he may have peace and that he may be able to, all right, have support in some way through this very difficult time. So please, all right, show some support and care for Steve Belcher because he's going through this very difficult time. I'm very thankful for all of my followers. All right, the Warriors Quest show, we wouldn't be able to spotlight and have the success with these kidney warriors who are looking for a living donor without you. So I appreciate you following. I appreciate every share. I appreciate your comments. I appreciate the engagement that you give, because again, every time you share and every time you make a comment, the broader the reach we have in social media, the bigger the reach, the more opportunity we have to reach somebody who can be a living donor for somebody. So thank you very much. All right. Thank you very much for tuning in tonight. All right. Once again, click that share button. All right. Don't be stingy. All right. Thanks for the shares and for prayers. Both for prayers and shares together. That's a great combination as well. Anyway, I'm going to say peace. I'm out. Thankful again for everything you guys do to help me do this show. All right. So thank you again. Have a blessed evening. Peace. I'm out. Here we go. Intro, outro, one of them.